Let it burn for 2 weeks. Flatland, right next to the ocean. Uh, Thanks for the link. I'll pull it up later. Uh, Everybody that's listening, go out there. Do your research. Do your checking. Find out why observatories have been closed around the world. Why would you close another observatory? Because it had the same gas leak? Or what would be the reason? Two things next to each other is one thing, but two things further away or really far away from each other, it would have the same reason if it happened at the same time. But what that reason is not what we expect it to be. So I'm pushing you to get involved, which I always ask you to do. Life is not going to be anything unless you get involved with it. Nothing's going to change at all if you don't get involved. I mean, not changing the reality of the planet, but just the way you live. Whether it's drinking, smoking, abortion, whatever it is, the involvement is the only thing that could help it or change it. And Jesus said that. Follow the laws of your government, but if they're not right, change them. Thomas Jefferson said the same thing. We had the right to form a militia if we wanted to take our government out if they weren't suiting our purposes. But we rather think, well, they must know what they're doing. Who knows what they're doing? Do aliens know what they're doing? If they did, they would have never came to planet Earth. First mistake. With all those other universes out there, must be a better place with better food without having idiots on it. Now, when we talk about food, caveman time, there's pictures of them eating dinosaurs. So the idea that they weren't together ever is a lie story. Nobody knows the truth about it. But then the creatures that we hear, what were they here? Unicorns, Pegasus, and things like that. Well, I can only tell you what I feel and know. Those creatures exist. I truly believe they did exist here at one time. And I'm talking up until recent time. But I work with all the elementals, fire spirits, water spirits, tree people, the rock people. They're all real. There's forms of entity beings that dwell within that. And if you go into native teachings, you learn how to talk to a tree right away. That's one of the first things you need to learn. But is it going to help mankind move forward spiritually? Or let's not burn this plant down. If we start a fire here, it'll affect that. Living with life is one thing. Living with God is another. They're not the same. If you believe how important planet Earth is and what it's for, you need to understand God's actual thought on creating it. Not what you think or what you want it to be. Well, God tells me that we all have to love each other. That's so abused. That it watches over us. Do what? Watches you when you go to the bathroom? Watches you when you're making love? Watches you what? What are you going to do that God would need to watch you? Or want to? At any level. Man gives himself to ego. Well, it's a training ground. And that's what I call it. But it's training the wrong people the wrong way. We're learning things that are only suitable for planet Earth. The teachers are only teaching things for planet Earth. I talked to my partner. I had a Tibetan teacher I was working with. And at that time, I was going through serious problems. I couldn't move my shoulder, my arm. And I was out of work for 6 months. And I said, if I have to stay like this, I don't want to be here. I said, well, you can take another body if you want. And there's Tibetan techniques, and whether they really work or not, I didn't do it, so I wouldn't say it works. But I was told how to do it and what to do. If I wanted to take on another body. Well, if you take on another body, you have to get that person out of the body as well. So it's not a matter of killing somebody. It's wait until they're ready to leave the body, and then you can step into it and heal the body when you get into that body. But it's still, why can't I heal the body that I'm in? And that's what I came up with, the conclusion that I had to do, which I did. So, do I let my body run down now? I just feel, I don't want to, who wants to live forever? The Highlander movie was my favorite movie on TV. And the theme song was written by Queen, and it was Who Wants to Live Forever? When you think about it, everybody you know will die. Everybody you see born will die. Everybody you make friends with will die. So, yeah, it becomes different in time. Until you experience it, you don't understand it. Well, we all should live forever. Why? Do you want to stay with those people forever? You better pick some really good people if they plan on staying with them forever. Forever is a long time. But no, that's not where we were going. We're going with what's happening on this planet right now. What are these signs? What's going down with these observatories? If they're watching the sun, what did they really see? Is a radioactive wave? I mean, the sun does a couple things. It has solar flares. I know I saw a ship go into it, and they did film that. The same as I saw videos of ships going inside the volcano here on this island. Are you ready to look outside the window? Get outside the box. Go on your computer and actually spend some time doing something constructive. Trying to find information about what's really happening. Not what you feel is right, what you feel is good, or what you think should happen, but what is really happening is different. And you need to know that. And you need to find it. And it might sound like small things, but small things can grow into big things. A reality can be changed. But if we let aliens do it, if that's what the case is, we're in trouble. Who are we going to put in power? Who are we going to put in place? Do we have a clue? Well, I say change the voting system. Change the votes to go back to the people. I mean, if one city has the most population and the other one doesn't, but they both have the same electoral votes, maybe it's 6, 8, 9, or whatever, something's wrong there. Do people see it? Do people understand it? Why the system's screwed up? So it's a matter of reaching inside yourself and saying, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to find out the truth. And then I'm going to work from that. Well, whether it ever happens in your life or not, it's the desire to do it and do it right. Because that'll connect you to the word spiritual. Again, it doesn't happen overnight. For most people. What are you willing to let go to allow more in? All these things we need to do. So, I just wanted to throw that in there about this whole thing, about checking it out, what's going to happen if we get a solar flare. The real effects of a solar flare take a year to hit us. Sorry. I mean, just because it happened, it's not that fast. It doesn't hit us like in 5 seconds. What are we going to do when it happens? What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? What do you want when it happens? If your city's put out of power, those things, people don't think about it. I try not to. I got some things around in case, but well, we start at birth, and when we're born into this planet, we got very little awareness. And what I'm saying is, find the right people. They're out there if you look hard enough, and you'll be lucky if you find one. And one is all that matters. One that can help you cross that bridge. And I go through techniques on and off, and I talk about things like that. But we need to make our own techniques. We need to understand the reason why. And as we move forward, we tear down these walls. And that's probably the best that we can do. Well, somebody just said they have every awareness from birth. I can't say I remember after birth, but I remember from roughly 3 years on every detail in my life, every action, every word, every sound. What sounds were going on when I did this and that and all that. It was intense, and it still is. Just learning to deal with that's an incredible ability. Because I didn't have good things happening, so it's hard to reflect on good things. And then when I hear, what's good on the planet? What's really happening that's good? Not much. So, I'm kind of like running out of time. I know I didn't get into Jesus that hardcore or at all. But you know, I'm still afraid that most people aren't ready for it. But I will say this. I will get to it. And if somebody's really wanting that, they can get my book and read that to start with. Three Teachings of Jesus from God Realization. Now, future saying anybody wants to donate, please do. Because she's really tight now with the daughters with her and different things going on. Oh, all right. For me, it's so complex because it's like every action, every sound is there in my life. So I could see right action, wrong action, good, bad, different, what happens from this, what happened, instant karma, all those words. They're all real. Whether you recognize them when they happen is a different story. When Spirit talks to you, are you listening? Are you listening to the right spirit, right guide? I mean, all those things we need to be aware. Whatever's happening. So, when I gave you the information about the observatories, whatever you can, any information, anything you can find, put it, send it to hawksblood1aol.com. If it becomes serious, we'll do an emergency show, which we can do anytime. They deleted your YouTube account. Can you open it up under another name? But I'm out of time. Tell your friends to tune in, pull this site up, listen to it. Any information out there, please call it in. Email me, text me. We got to get the truth out there. We got to find it first. What went down? What's going down with the observatories? What did they see? I'm sure it's what they saw, not what happened, a gas leak or a virus or something like that. And where did these people go? Where did they bring in all these people that are disappearing when they clean something out? So with that, till next time, hope you got something out of the show. Check out Sargel 18 tonight. Go to YouTube. So Sargel 18 is on YouTube. He put 3 up, 2 up. I don't think you heard either. But the one he's putting up today will be about this whole observatory thing and what's going to go on after that. So please get involved. Oh, I don't want to know the truth. Don't know the truth. Don't know life. Just die in the ignorance. That's a choice, but not the right choice. So peace, everybody. Till next time, You heard it here. Tell your friends to tune in.